So yes, I want to certainly welcome all of you here and describe Stan Black, who passed away a while ago, but I knew Stan. He was a board member, really one of the founding fathers of Triangle, or darn close to it, and an absolute sponsor, an angel really to this organization. So this is not an insignificant award. This is a very, very important one for someone who has done something very, very unique and substantial for our organization and for others. Tonight, Pat Flavin is the recipient, and Pat I have known, or Patrick, but I've known Pat for 25 of his 28 years at TJX. He has been instrumental and always committed to doing tremendous work for those less privileged, and really a leading voice at TJX to do that. Pat is the Director of Workforce Initiatives. He is a consummate professional and has an enormous heart that transcends the business world and really utilizes the power of a $30 billion corporation with 200,000 employees to really help affect better change in the world for those less fortunate. Pat is here tonight with his wife Anne Marie, who I know is very excited, his daughter Danielle, his son Sean, who I met Sean when Sean was about 6 or 7, and we got to meet Bobby Orr in a private session where he hit me with a slap shot. But Sean is now all grown up and also working at TJX today. We're very, very fortunate. And Sean's brother Ryan, Danielle's brother Ryan, isn't here tonight, but I know wants to be, to celebrate this tremendous accomplishment of their dad. So you know, Pat has been to the White House many times, met all the presidents in the last 27 years, I believe, personally, honestly. He has worked on behalf of Welfare to Work, and the program that Pat is the leader of within TJX is basically taken over 220,000 individuals who previously were on government assistance and transformed them into active working individuals within TJX in all those stores. 220,000 people. He has also been, as you know, he's also been very instrumental with placing and creating linkage between TJX and Triangle for our stores and our distribution centers. Thank goodness, and it's just a continuing process. You should know that he spent the morning with Tom Brady at the Best Buddies program in Hyannisport, so we're really just, we're not much compared to that, but he's a very active guy. He's in so many different, involved in so many different organizations. He also loves golf, and I guess the one thing, we always, when we travel, I travel a fair amount, we always sit at dinner with the people we're with and say, well, tell us something about something we would never know about you. And Pat was gracious to share with me last night that on his desk he has a picture of he and Michelle Obama, which is pretty good. And she's got great upper arms, doesn't she? What you don't know is that on Michelle Obama's desk, she has a picture of Pat. So I want to welcome Pat up to the stage so that we can present him with this award.
Well, thank you, Herb. As you can see, some of the photos that were up there for the day that I spent most recently with all the folks up at Triangle. And it's if you've never been there, you walk in and people, I know a lot of the folks there, but kids are coming up, giving you high fives, fist bumps, random hugs. The first time I went, it was a little scary, coming up from behind me and grabbing a bear hug. But it's an awesome, awesome place to be. When I was told I was going to receive this award, I was very, very humbled, and don't like to attach my name, as an individual, because this is really a team award. And I play, for 3 teams, Triangle and their team and the great work that you do, TJX, which allows me to do the great things that we do in the community, and Team Flavin, my home team, sitting over at table 2, that give me the support and the energy and some days the kick in the pants to get out and to be able to do the kinds of things we do. Jonathan made reference earlier to his dad, and I think that's where I started my career when I was 10. He used to coach hockey and baseball with me, and would always pick the kids that nobody else would pick, the ones with disabilities. And as a 10-year-old, I said, "Dad, what are you doing? Why are you picking him? Don't you want to win?" And my dad is not a man of very many words. And he said, "Pat, it's not all about winning." And that was it. He just left it at that. So years later, as I was going through Northeastern on a co-op, I had the opportunity to work with the first African-American store manager for Bradley's, and later play hockey for the first American to ever play in the NHL, Tommy Williams, who played for the Bruins. And the barriers that they had to overcome and the things that they had to do above and beyond what everybody else had to do to be successful really made my father's point hit home. So throughout my career, I've had individuals that have had those kinds of impacts. Herb Landsman is one of those people. I generally admire your friendship, Herb. But to be able to help individuals with barriers to employment, people who are the underdog. And I do that every day with my organization, and I'm very happy to be able to get out and to do that. To see their success, means I'm successful. To see the excitement in someone getting a job, being able to get their first paycheck, their first apartment, life milestones that most of us take for granted, that certain individuals don't have that easy road to get there. So this award really solidifies a lot of the things, that I get to do in my life to give back that helps other people go forward. So it really fits in with the theme for this year's gala. And Pat told me I had, 3 minutes to talk, and for some people that would, feel like an eternity. But for me, it's not enough to keep doing the things that we do. And I appreciate, the friendship that we've had and grown with over the years. Jimmy B coming back to be on the board, that's fantastic. I really appreciate the effort, for all the folks at Triangle. But one of the things I need a little help with is the folks from Clark's that came from out of state. Could you guys stand up? All the folks that came from out of state. You guys have done a tremendous job, but I need you to know, I need you to keep, still stay standing, is that you think you work for Clark's, but you really work for a company that's called Clark's. So you have to repeat after me. All right, you ready? Clark's. Clark's. All right. Now you can enjoy the rest of your trip in Boston. People will know where you really work when you tell them. So. Well, I'm going to leave it at that, and I appreciate and thank everyone's support for coming out, and you really should get out to Triangle. It really is a life-changing thing. Just, when you're having a bad day, you think about some of the struggles that some of these folks are having. You change the way you act, respond to other people, the way you live your life, and the things that you do every day. It's really heartwarming, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come up. Thanks.